Prince William and Kate Middleton's little girl is all grown up. Princess Charlotte, the only daughter of the Prince and Princess of Wales, turns 10 years old on May 2nd.
The golden Kensington Palace's passageways have never felt so empty. As Princess Charlotte Elizabeth Diana, the 10-year-old daughter of the prince, and according to reports, the Princess of Wales planned to describe what palace insiders are referring to, a terrible farewell.
Quite known for her feisty personality.
Feeling that we got when they came out with the baby, we couldn't miss it again. We couldn't miss this.
Longtime royal employees were seen comforting one and wiping away tears from the only life she had ever known. Another in scenes that witnesses described as sad.
Been obviously fantastic, and she's been a little joy of heaven, but at the same time it is more responsibility.
Several people close to the royal family claim that this isn't just another royal drama unfolding in the media. The family of Wales. In the meticulously planned world of Britain's most visible royal children, something significant has changed. Additionally, Princess Charlotte is at the center of a decision that has caused chaos in the palace. The girl who would be unique. In the royal hierarchy, Princess Charlotte has always held a special place. She was born on May 2, 2015, and is ranked fourth in line for the throne, behind her younger brother, Prince Louis, and older brother, Prince George. However, Charlotte has lived in a strange middle ground that has molded her in unanticipated ways, in contrast to George, who bears the burden of future kingship, and Louis, who enjoys the relative freedom of being a spare to the spare. In a recent interview, royal writer Angela Lavin disclosed that Charlotte showed signs of independence at a young age. She differs from the other royal offspring of the last few generations. Lavin said that she exudes a steeliness and resolve that many observers of the palace find reminiscent of Princess and in her younger years. A young girl torn between two worlds is depicted by staff members who have worked closely with the Wales children. According to a former nanny who spoke on condition of anonymity, Charlotte was fully aware of the cameras, the procedures, and the expectations in a way that appeared to weigh heavily on someone so young. You would be devastated by the questions she asked. Questions like, "Why can't I just be Charlotte?" and "Do I have to wave at people I don't know forever?" were disclosed by the source. These weren't complaints or outbursts. These were sincere inquiries from a little girl attempting to comprehend her role in an extremely confusing world. The tipping point. It seems that the impetus for what insiders are referring to as Charlotte's farewell has been building for months, if not years. The young princess has reportedly grown more reluctant to her royal responsibilities and the constant public scrutiny that comes with her position, according to sources inside the palace. During a private family gathering at Adelaide Cottage in Windsor last month, the situation reportedly reached a breaking point. Extended private time without formal engagements, visits from family counselors and child psychologists, and what one source called the most serious family talks the Wales household had seen since the late Queen's death were all recorded by palace officials. According to a person close to the family, Princess Catherine sobbed for days. At strange hours, Prince William would pace the gardens. It was obvious that something was seriously wrong, and the kids were at its core. It appears that Princess Charlotte herself made an incredible request as a result of these private conversations. She desired to leave the royal life, or at the very least, to have her public role drastically curtailed. It shows how serious the matter is and how it affects royal staff when a 10-year-old expresses such a request and her parents take it seriously enough to think about significant adjustments. The palace employees who have dedicated their careers to serving the royal family have seen the greatest human cost of this developing drama. Many of these people have been employed by Windsor for many years, spanning several generations. And they see the kids as members of an extended family rather than just their royal duties. Before her recent retirement, Mrs. Margaret Henderson worked as a senior household manager at Kensington Palace for more than 20 years. She spoke thoughtfully about the emotional climate. Everyone that works with these kids is incredibly devoted to them. She continued, "When you see them struggling, when you see them questioning their existence in this extraordinary but constraining world, it affects everyone deeply." As the issue has developed, several employees have reportedly asked for time off or received compassionate leave. The perception of seasoned palace workers who have remained composed in the face of deaths, scandals, and constitutional problems. Many people believe that crying over a young girl's hardship was the most human moment to come out of the palace in years. Speaking anonymously to preserve his job, one security guard recounted the incident in which Charlotte reportedly bid farewell to some of the employees she had known since birth. She thanked each individual by name and expressed her love for them, but she still wanted to discover who she was in the absence of all of this. His voice was captivating as he narrated. No one in the room had a dry eye. In essence, this young girl, beautiful and intelligent, was stating she couldn't breathe in this life anymore. Catherine's unachievable decision. Princess Catherine is in what may be the most challenging situation of all. She is aware of both the benefits and the prison that come with being a princess, having gone through her own transition. According to sources, she has struggled to balance her first role as a mother with her obligation to the monarchy. According to royal analyst Emily Nash, Catherine has always approached parenting differently from previous royals. In the highly unusual setting of royal life, she has battled for her kids to have typical experiences, friendships, and childhoods. However, she is limited in what she can accomplish by the institution's rules. According to reports, the Princess of Wales has been the main factor behind the family's efforts to provide Charlotte with accommodations. Catherine is reportedly intensely protective of her daughter's psychological well-being, having endured her own period of intense public scrutiny and being transparent about her advocacy for mental health. According to an insider acquainted with the conversations, Catherine informed senior palace officials that if she had to choose between the institution and her daughter, she would do so. The establishment was rocked by that statement. Although it's basically the same stance that Harry and Meghan adopted, it has more weight because it comes from the future queen consort. The analogy to Meghan and Harry. It is impossible to talk about this circumstance without comparing it to the 2020 departure of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry from the royal family. There is no denying the echoes. A member of the royal family stating that they are unable to handle the demands of public life, worries about mental health, and a family attempting to balance institutional responsibilities with personal well-being. There are notable distinctions, though. Because Charlotte is a youngster, the calculus is completely different. Unlike her uncle and aunt, she cannot just relocate to California and start over. Her parents must make all decisions regarding her future inside a framework that shields her from the risks of being a well-known child outside of palace protection, as well as the demands of royal life. Dr. Penelope Wilton, a royal historian, speculates that Charlotte's predicament would actually compel the palace to address problems that Harry's departure left unsolved. She clarified that Harry was an adult who could express his complaints and make his own decisions, no matter how contentious. Charlotte is a small child whose struggle brings to light the central question: what should we do when someone born into this system is unable to flourish within it, particularly if that person is too young to have made a choice? William and Catherine might be picking up lessons from their missteps during Harry's crises, according to some observers. On temporary monarchy. In addition to being about a small child growing up in the most watched household in the world, Princess Charlotte's narrative also explores how centuries of royal custom have twisted and turned to accommodate her. The changes that established her status, starting with the historic succession to the Crown Act of 2013, are among the best examples of this. This landmark edict, which was signed into law by Queen Elizabeth II, ended the centuries-old tradition of male primogeniture. The hierarchy that had been in place for many generations was destroyed by the law that formerly permitted younger boys to surpass their older sisters in the royal line with a single stroke. The first princess in British history to actively profit from this change was Charlotte. She did not lose her job when Prince Louis, her younger brother, was born in 2018. She continued to be third in line for the throne. A momentous occasion that highlighted the monarchy's gradual but indisputable transition to equality. The advent of a younger brother did not affect a royal daughter's status for the first time. The House of Windsor underwent a silent revolution that changed the succession laws to Charlotte's advantage. However, her identity continued to shift after that. Another crucial change that preserved Charlotte's royal status was made by Queen Elizabeth II herself. In 1917, King George V limited the usage of princely titles to the eldest son of the Prince of Wales and children and grandchildren of the king through the male line. Despite their father's rank, neither Charlotte nor Lizzie would have had the titles of princess or prince if those regulations had been in place. By affording Charlotte the respect of being addressed appropriately as a princess by birth, the Queen made sure that her position was not reduced. Following the death of Queen Elizabeth II on September 8, 2022, the seismic shift persisted. Charlotte's titles changed again when her grandpa became King Charles III. She changed her name from Princess Charlotte of Cambridge to Princess Charlotte of Wales in honor of her father, Prince William, who was formally crowned Prince of Wales on September 9, 2022. In contrast to her mother, Catherine, whose title as princess came by marriage rather than birth, she now holds the full title of Her Royal Highness, Princess Charlotte of Wales, which solidifies her position in the royal order. There are even more opportunities in the future. According to royal biographer Robert Jobson, Charlotte may eventually inherit the title of Duchess of Edinburgh, which is currently held by Prince Edward but is destined to return to the throne. However, the title of Princess Royal has the biggest influence on her future. This is one of the most important and esteemed roles for a female royal, and it is customarily reserved for the monarch's oldest daughter. Charlotte is anticipated to inherit it either during or after her father's reign because King Charles has no daughters. The title has great significance and denotes both dignity and accountability. The position, which Princess Anne has held since 1987, has served as a forum for unceasing service and global participation. If Charlotte were to inherit it, she would become a senior working royal of her generation and assume one of the most difficult yet powerful roles in the monarchy. Charlotte's odyssey through changing titles, royal decrees, and legal reforms is more than just the tale of a single child. It reflects how the monarchy has changed, striking a balance between centuries of custom and the needs of the contemporary world. A height of history she bears. What unspoken realities, symbolic honor, or deliberate power play behind Charlotte's changing titles? And how may this permanently alter the monarchy? Continue to observe Charlotte's journey through both change and tradition. The Wales family did more than simply relocate. They moved in order to start over. At first glance, it appeared to be just another royal choice. However, there was a lot of purpose, emotion, and intention behind the scenes of the relocation to Windsor. It was neither abrupt nor haphazard. Prince William and Princess Kate make a significant life choice, both as parents and as royalty. Let's examine the circumstances surrounding the abrupt departure from Kensington Palace. Education was one of the primary motivations for the change. All three of the kids were enrolled in Lamrook School, a prestigious but practical private school close to Windsor, in September 2022. Compared to their prior existence in London, it represented a significant shift. Up until that point, Charlotte and George were both students at Thomas's Battersby, a bustling school in London. However, Lamprook provided an alternative. A chance to breathe again meant having more space and privacy. Another sincere justification for the relocation. Elizabeth II, Queen. The Queen was spending more time at Windsor Castle due to her deteriorating health at the time of their move in 2022, and William wanted to be close to her as a future king who valued her wisdom as well as a grandson. William and the Queen had long been close. She had faith in him. He greatly respected her, and she led him. The family had more opportunities to visit, spend more time with the Queen, and create more memories before it was too late because they lived close by. Additionally, it allowed the kids to spend more time with their great-grandmother. In particular, Charlotte developed a close bond with the Queen. And that brings us to the heart-stopping reality unfolding behind the golden gates of Kensington Palace. A 10-year-old princess, born into history, now wrestling with a life she never chose, and parents forced to question everything the monarchy stands for. Princess Charlotte's story is no longer just about titles, hierarchy, or royal tradition. It's about a child fighting to breathe in a world built entirely on expectations. As the palace trembles under the weight of her decision, one thing is clear. This moment may reshape the future of the British monarchy forever. What do you think? Is Princess Charlotte brave for stepping away from royal pressure? Or is this the beginning of another royal crisis the firm is desperate to stop? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. And if you want to stay updated as this story unfolds, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications, because the truth is coming out of Kensington right now. Is only getting darker.